The poor man
I got a
comes in
new
a
phone and I forgot to install YouTube. So this is the close you get to Hagger's theme.
And by the way, this show is sponsored by the Teddy Anus doll.
Oh God. He has a new he has a Breaking Kayfabed coming out. You know that, right?
I know. I haven't watched it yet, but seeing the trailer, it's like, that'd make a great doll. It will come with a random kitty cat, and you can buy his 2 hookers separately.
Oh God!
And he'll talk too. It'll come with phrases like, "I don't see you being a 3rd generation wrestler. You can't tell me what to do."
The whole crew's here. Even Lou drew Skype text, I guess.
Yeah, because it's not like anything's happening at the cafe where he's working.
Yeah,
because that place is boring.
Not as boring as what I had to do, but I'll tell you about that another time. What was your?
Oh yeah, I heard about apparently. I saw in the news. Apparently, 4 Negroes decided
to not on live. But yes, that happened, and now they're having us guard that place for a while until they can hire new people.
I still say it was an inside job. I mean, who the hell lets you into your place of work at fucking 15 minutes before the damn place was supposed to open?
Professionals. That's what they pretty much were.
And nobody think to see them. But anyway, we have actual wrestling to talk about this week, thank God.
Yeah.
Including the death of the Mae Young Classic. and perhaps the death of the storyline.
The death of the Mae Young Classic, or you can't call it the death of women's wrestling now that we know Asuka's going to Raw, but let's just get into what we have.
Let's get into what we know. We obviously the Mae Young Classic happened. The final match. One Piece Pirate versus somebody who was trained by Billy fucking Robinson. Take your guess who's which.
Which Straw Hat Pirate?
I said One Piece. I said One Piece Pirate, not Straw Hat Pirate.
Oh.
One Piece Pirate.
That doesn't stop people.
The only reason that fucking Shayna didn't go over was because they put the Horseman angle on hold.
Then Lita's horse voice and JR sounded bored.
I don't think it's on hold. I don't think it's on hold. The problem is they're pushing it too quick.
Yeah,
because they want the horse
basically used just for that.
The horsewomen angle was they're planning that for Survivor Series.
Yeah, but that's still a couple months away.
And this is not inner circle stuff because I'm not in that. Thanks, Lou. There were some people there that looked way worse than I did. But this is dirt sheet shit. This is stuff that's easily findable on the internet. That the horsewomen versus horsewomen angle is going towards the Survivor Series with a push of Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania, which makes me mad because it completely undercuts Shayna. It really does. And that's my personal opinion. It undercuts Shayna. She's worked really hard. She actually intentionally kept Ronda away from a lot of things, including her tryout, apparently, and not wanting her and not using her as a resource to get in and make a phone call or anything like that. She wanted the respect of the locker room first. It's like
get away from me, loser. Losenheimer.
Yeah, it's not so much that, but she wanted the respect of the locker room. I respect her for that. She put up a great effort, but Kyrie went over.
Yeah.
So, well, hey, it is what it is. However, I will not fault the match. I will, however, blame Jim Ross for getting the person wrong on the right.
Oh boy.
I will also blame a Twitter source that also got the person wrong because the blonde chick on the right was not Marina Shafir. She wasn't there.
I saw Jessamine Duke, Ronda Rousey, and then Shayna was in the ring. Yeah,
there was a short blonde chick with the. I know who that is.
Because the only horsewomen I know is Shayna, Jessamine, Ronda, and some other chick I don't even know.
Yeah, Roderick Strong's fiance, Marina Shafir, but Marina wasn't there. Their friend and roommate Chelsea Ray, who's also in mixed martial arts, is also one of their roommates. Went to Vegas with them.
So they a bunch of lesbos, or how does that work?
Oh God.
Because you hear women living together.
No.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, if you've been paying any sort of attention, Rousey just got married.
So Rock Hudson was married to a woman too.
Oh.
I'll save that for you, Will. Will you stop?
You stop. See, I'm trying to be Bobby Heenan on my own thing, and now I have to turn back into Gorilla Monsoon for this shit.
Rock Hudson was married too. It didn't stop him.
So fucking. So yeah, Jim Ross got that wrong. Twitter outlets got that wrong. We gave everybody shit on Twitter. It was funny.
By the way, I need to stress something. I'm all for women at the commentary booth, but when you try to sound like a fucking man, it doesn't help your cause. And this isn't just for wrestling, it's for any time a woman recently has been on the commentary path.
I don't understand what you mean by that.
Okay. The best example I can give is watch any football game with that female announcer, and then also watch the Mae Young Classic. Instead of just being themselves, they try to sound too much like an old school radio announcer.
Yeah, as Lou said, Lita sounded bored? Yeah, see, Lita had a hoarse voice that JR
not meant to
bored.
imitate a male voice.
To be fair, they were only doing one match. And JR probably was also at least he got the names of the moves right, although you still can't pronounce Kitafuda Driver.
Well, there's even some things Jim Ross can't do. Like Harry Lita's sorry ass.
So, yeah. Whatever. So suffice to say, I really didn't care about. Hell, the commentary, I think I pretty much tuned out. I was just watching the match. A lot of people actually during the Mae Young Classic got on Shayna's ass about how heelish she got.
Well, no shit, she's a heel wrestler.
I said no shit. Yeah. In fact, I'm sitting here going, if you're lost in that moment, and I admit I got lost in that moment. What the fuck? You're choking Candice LeRae out. If you're getting lost in that moment, if you're willing to suspend your disbelief right at that moment, that means the performer is doing their job correctly.
Like, for example, perfect example, The Miz. Everybody hates that motherfucker, and it's like, good, if you hate him, if you can't stand him to the point you want him to get the shit beaten out of him, he's doing his job. He's a heel. Because I've been hearing so many people bitching and complaining, oh, well, he's making an Intercontinental title weak. All he does is complain. I'm like, he's a heel. He's supposed
to do that.
What
he's
part
supposed to do that?
When do people forget what a bad guy is supposed to do?
Now,
when they started reading Meltzer's newsletter.
Now, there have been strong heel Intercontinental champions before. Prime example, Kurt Hennig.
Rick Rude. But
not everybody has to be like that. I think there's some other shit that the Miz has had to deal with, but I think he's earned enough of the respect of the locker room, considering where he started.
Yeah,
that where he is right now,
so I'll give him that.
he's fine. Is fine.
He's actually had some pretty good matches.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think he's got. And honestly, I think Daniel Bryan lit a fire under him. I really do. I really think Daniel Bryan lit a fire under him.
I mean, this is a guy that they said you won't last the year, and he's still there.
He's still there.
15 years later.
The best matches there's been recently.
Yeah.
Better than he should be having anyway.
And now we know that his testicles worked.
And it's because obviously, Maurice's pregnant, and I'm guessing you could say John Cena lit a fire under his ass too.
Yeah, really.
Now
that makes a question: what's taking John so long to get John Jr. out?
Well, that's because of all the steroids. You take all the steroids for so many years, all of a sudden your 24-inch pythons don't work anymore.
Well, the only 24-inch python.
Well, I say the only exception to that rule is Hulk Hogan. But then again, remember, Hulk Hogan has a fucking 10-inch penis, and Triple H
doesn't.
Or some shit like that. I forget how the court case went.
We already got Daniel Bryan's daughter going after the women's title. We already got Randy Orton has kids. Shane's kids.
We got Stephanie McMahon having 3 kids.
Three daughters. Shane has triplets of 3 kids of his own.
And remember, you got Ultimate Warrior's daughters. One's almost an adult. So you're gonna.
By the way, could you believe the way something was up with Dana Warrior? I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was too much coffee or she stuck a fork in an electric socket or something. I don't know. I was like, what?
What about the Ziggler thing?
The Ziggler thing? I thought everybody knew about it.
No. I'm just talking about the way she looked.
Well, see, to me personally, I think maybe the death of her husband has gotten to her a little bit because I noticed. I noticed these things. Fucking, if you look at her from when she first started doing the Warrior Award to now, it seems like she's gotten like bone thin.
Yeah, she's gotten. Yeah, it's like she's gotten bone thin. Yeah.
Like an eating disorder.
She doesn't look like when she first started doing the Warrior Award. She actually looked strong. She actually looked like, not just a workout, but I mean, there was muscle on her. She actually looked defined.
Yeah,
and now it looks like gaunt.
Dude, I can see her skeleton.
Yeah,
a broken heart does a lot to people.
Can.
I'm crude. Everybody knows that, so I might as well come out and say it. She used to have a rack. She used to have a decent rack, and now she doesn't have nothing. You look at her fucking shoulders, you can see pits in her skin. Like literally, you could fucking go spelunking in the pits in her shoulders.
Damn, dude.
I'm not saying it to be mean. I usually do.
I know.
For once we actually understand.
I'm concerned. And I think, to be honest with you, what probably started all that is because she just recently moved out of the house her and Warrior shared. She sold the house with her kids. So it's more like, now she's starting to really come to grips with her husband's death, and it's really taking a toll on her. Whether she wants to admit it or not. I mean, when you live with someone for so long, you can't imagine life without them.
Like, whether they're well, like I was just telling Will before he came here, like I said, we had a rough time in my family. Most of the people read this are my friends anyway, so I want to at least say this. Today, we had to bury a cousin, and tomorrow we're burying one of my uncles.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And just remember this. All these fucking people, in all realness, all these fucking people love to sit there and say, oh, you'll get over it. You never get over someone's death. That's bullshit.
Especially if you're like real close to them.
Yeah, you only learn to deal with it. You never get over it. You learn to cope with it.
And the closer you are to that person, the harder it is.
I mean, fuck, it took me it's been a fucking a year and a half, like a year and some change almost since I lost my grandfather, and it still hurts every day.
It's been a year since my grandma died, so I understand the feeling.
I had a fiance fucking passed in a car crash. I didn't really get over. I mean, I still think about her sometimes, but it took me about good 5-10 years to get over it practically.
I had two uncles that died back to back.
I still held on to some of her stuff, and I didn't fully get rid of everything until maybe a couple years ago.
A
couple years ago, I still had some of her stuff here.
I had two uncles that died back to back on the Christmas holiday. I only was able to go to one funeral, and to this day, I can't go to another family funeral unless I'm real close to them, or I don't want to break down.
Yeah. So obviously, you can imagine, what she's going through. Especially the fact that she's probably going to lose one of her daughters soon, because Indiana's 17. She's probably going to go to college in about a year. And then you have the one daughter, and who's 14, and then it's going to be an empty nest. And by the way, you got to give.
And for that part, you're kind of wishing that someone keeps in contact with her after that, because God knows what she'll do.
Her and Stephanie are friends. But still, I will give kudos to WWE for this for sure. I mean, after all the shit Warrior talked about him and everything, they're taking good care of Dana. Yeah. They're giving her every business opportunity they can give her.
Yeah,
kind of like what they did with Vicky Guerrero.
Huh?
Yeah, like what they did with Vicky Guerrero.
Yeah, and everybody, well, except they're not letting Dana get humiliated on a weekly basis, or bringing up Warrior's name in all these storylines after LeMan's been long dead, like they did with Eddie Guerrero for 2 years afterwards. To the point you couldn't talk about Rey Mysterio without having somebody mention Eddie Guerrero.
Well, I think that's what hurt Rey Mysterio's title run the worst was, hey, we're actually getting viewers. Hi new viewers, subscribe and welcome to the show. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, I think that's what hurt Rey Mysterio's title push the worst was his name was so linked to Eddie Guerrero that he couldn't take off on his own. Hell, I was one of the first in line that says that Chavo should have been world champion since that was his direct nephew, but...
Well, Chavo's pretty much well for himself because now he's training the girls for Glow.
True. And all our viewers just left. I think I just scared them.
No, I don't think he's hurting too much.
No, and Chavo, I'm not sure if Chavo... I hate to say that, but I'm not sure if Chavo would have been believable as a world champion.
No.
Rey Mysterio had a better presence. He had a better moveset. You could bill him as the underdog guy easily just because he was of that stature and he was able to outdo a lot of out athletic a lot of people. So it was possible to believe Ray as world champion. Chavo, I don't think had it. He's a good tag partner. He's a good worker, but he didn't have that extra step that could propel him to world championship status.
Oh no shit! But even then, even though it kind of takes the believability out of wrestling too, because this little midget could take on everybody else and win. But then again,
Kairi Sane beat Shayna Baszler.
Doing the job to everybody.
Well, Kairi
I will say everybody needs to lose sometimes.
Oh, sure.
Well, sure.
But yeah.
So,
like I said, it's and by the way, WWE is supposed to be this huge evil company that everybody bitches about. No, they're so evil and this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, they're taking care of Warrior's fiance pretty good. They can't be that.
But they're the evil empire. We all, and you know it.
They're the
evil empire because they won't put Kenny
they-
Omega as their world champion for 5 years.
And they're not, and they haven't signed the Young Bucks yet.
They pay for people's rehab. They buy houses for people that have to relocate.
Like you know how many times did Jake
NXT,
Roberts had to go through rehab?
And you have to report to Florida. They usually pay for your apartment. But they're evil.
Oh, speaking of evil and WWE and the Young Bucks.
Oh, no.
Fuck the Buck.
Did you guys talk about it last week?
About what?
The cease and desist?
Oh, no, we didn't, actually. Oh, we did?
Yes, we did.
Oh, we touched on it, but we didn't actually go into a full conversation. But, yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why I did the crotch chop with X-Pac was because it was his gimmick. I'm sure I wouldn't get sued.
Yeah, I think you're fine. You're not a Young Buck.
I think I'll be fine. But yeah, there is a cease and desist because their use of the crotch chop is no longer permitted by WWE. I thought that was hilarious.
And by the by, that shows you how fucking stupid these morons are. To fucking sit there and accuse WWE of being evil because, you're making people work on Christmas. It's like, okay, but in the territory days and even the golden era, everybody worked on Christmas. Christmas was one of the biggest drawing days of the year. That and Thanksgiving were the two biggest draws of the year.
Hell, Survivor Series used to be on Thanksgiving.
Did.
Yeah, and fucking WCCW and AWA used to hold supercards on Christmas. But, these fucking morons, and now they just come into the business, no history lesson, not even fans. They just show up, rip off everybody else and get paid. If the Young Bucks really respected the business and knew the business, they wouldn't open up their fucking mouth.
Well, they're young, they're stupid, and they think they know everything.
By the way, why don't these little fucking brats bitch to the NFL? They hold games on Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's a rant for another time, and not for the NFL. I meant our current generation of future world leaders. But
a lot of them aren't even fans. They just come in, say, "Oh well, it's an easy way to make money. I could do this too."
Yeah, but that's what usually wrestling school is for, to beat that out of you and go, oh shit, this is actually hard, let me get the fuck out of here. Remember how many NFL stars thought that until they got their ass kicked in the school and then got drugged with their tail between their legs right back out?
I wish these fucking boys would get like Manny Fernandez to put their hands on them.
Oh jeez.
Oh god. Actually, let me type Lou, see if he has a wrestling school story.
Like how you see how Manny Fernandez broke into the business? Oh, I don't do that fake shit. That shit's phony. And then fucking Blackjack Mulligan beat the shit out of him.
That sounds about it. Just because you are able to pull punches and make things look bad, even though it's a performance, doesn't mean you can't do so. And
I would not pull my punches if I was in the ring with the Young Bucks.
So that's not what we would call a work. Then that would be called a shoot. But
exactly. These kids need shoot.
But you see,
they need what Bradshaw Farouk did to the Public Enemy.
Public Enemy.
No. You know we either need what New Jack did to Mass Transit, or we need what the fucking skyscrapers did to those two jobbers that wouldn't fucking sell for them.
Damn, dude.
How about the Midnights on Wee Willie Wilkins? No. Anyway. Oh, fuck. I mean, what was we were just talking about it the other day. I guess some people thought that Shayna was too stiff on Kyrie with the kicks, and they were surprised that Kyrie wasn't concussed.
Oh, we should actually talk about real quick the result of Kairi Sane winning, since we already said so. Kairi Sane, as we all pretty much predicted here, Kairi Sane will be part of the title match for the vacant NXT Women's Championship in the next takeover.
Yay!
Her opponent, we don't know. Now let's continue.
You don't know. I'm sure. Hopefully they'll organize it like a tournament, like they should. But I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to do something else with that, sadly. But they need to beef up that women's division. Just Asuka was this absolute monster,
Juggernaut.
And by the by, I love how fucking they took one of the women from the fucking Mae Young Classic and put him with fucking that undisputed faction, but it's the blonde Brazilian bitch and not someone who somebody actually gives a shit about, like a Nikki Cross or a Tessa Blanchard. It's like, well, this group needs a woman. This is well, she can do jiu-jitsu. Hey, put her in the ring.
Oh,
and by the way, they've actually announced that fucking, I'm not going to say who else is in there because it's only one person else in there for now. But fucking Kairi Sane, because she won the Classic, she's going to be one of the participants in a fatal four-way for the NXT Women's Belt in NXT TakeOver Houston.
We just said that.
I just said that.
Which, by the way, is going to be the first NXT event to be held underwater.
I think it'll be drained by then. But.
Yeah, I think they're working. I think they're getting the air pumps up as we speak.
You're gonna have it's gonna be like the fucking WCW on spring break where they're gonna have the ring in the middle of the pool.
That would be
like
cool.
They're gonna have the ring on floats.
That would actually be cool.
That would actually be kind of cool, particularly if they actually put people over the top rope and into the pool.
Yeah.
I'd be for that.
That's one of the things I miss about WCW, the spring break episodes.
Unfortunately, it has led to the infection known as beach balls in the audience.
You know what's fucked up about that? As a quick story.
What?
They actually made a floating ring, like as a toy, for and they made like a Bash at the Beach line. That was one. I think that was the last line Toy Biz ever did with WCW. That shit goes for beaucoup bucks now, and I had the ability to pick up like 5 of them at Valley Fair back in 2002. And because I figured, well, I was a teenager, I didn't have my own place set. I was like, well, I have no place to put because the rings were selling for $10 a piece. So in today's dollars, how much they go for? If I would have bought all their rings and known how much they would have been worth, dude, I would have been sitting on about $5,000-$6,000. Because that's how much that ring goes for, complete in box.
I think we all had. I think we all had items that were. If we said to ourselves, "God, I wish I saved this." I have a magic card that I didn't know was rare at the time. It got rain damage, dude. If I kept that thing in mint condition, that was at least a couple $1,000s.
Yeah, it's one of those the things you think about to actually save.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like damn.
If I had a time machine.
Yeah, really. And it was because they wouldn't have never sold because fucking Valley Fair was in Irvington and in the worst part of it too.
Oh boy. Yeah,
so damn well it wouldn't have sold.
In a series.
Oh boy.
But that would be a great idea. They could literally hold it in the floodwaters and just have the ring on top.
Now that would be cool, but you have to give the tickets away for free to give the people.
Well, yeah, no shit.
To give people who are still dealing with that something to keep their eyes off, like similar to tribute to the troops.
Except, like the Texans should have fucking done instead of charging people to go to the stadium.
Say again?
Like the Texans should have done, but they instead charged people to go to the stadium.
Oh boy. Well, who watched the Texans anyway? But no, I'm just
I
kidding
don't
about
know.
that.
Still something to do.
Yeah, especially after everything that happened, you need something to keep your spirits up. Guess we ran through that for a while until we come back to it. Does
By the
anyone
way,
want...
just remember, even during a major hurricane, nobody wanted to buy the Cowboys coolers.
Should we talk about the third death of Roman Reigns?
Is
I
it the
didn't
third
watch
death?
Raw.
I thought it was like the fifth,
I
sixth,
watched part
seventh.
of Raw.
Give you a quick rundown that I could think of. Cena buried Roman Reigns again. Well, not buried, but, cut him down. The Miz cut down Enzo Amore. What else? The Strowman beat the dog out of the Lesnar.
Oh, well, I no mercy. I want to be like a drug test because you won't be able to get past me.
Yeah, that was the Roman Reigns bit.
It's like yeah, Roman could somewhat talk, but it seems like every time that Cena picks up a mic, he just buries Roman.
Yeah,
The best way I could describe it is it's like a Golden Gloves winner going against Mike Tyson in his prime.
It's more the fact that they're supposed to do this to get Roman over, right?
Yeah.
But it seems like it's just making him weaker.
And
if they don't turn Roman heel at this point, then everything will be lost.
Because even if Roman wins, then what does that prove? Cena destroyed them on the mic almost every single week.
Exactly.
Now, if I was thinking that, I would have fucking Roman. I would have Roman be in bed with Nikki Bella. And
okay, Vince Russo.
You can see him the next day scratching his balls because she gave him the clap.
No, I don't think that's Russo. I think we're starting to get to Disco Inferno levels of fucking.
Yeah, I was about to say no. Russo, even Russo has class beyond that. We're getting Disco Inferno.
I wouldn't say Russo has class. I just Russo doesn't think beyond a certain point.
Oh man, my dick is what the fuck, God.
Next thing you know, we'll find out Roman's a Martian. Anyway.
No, but think about it. He tried to get revenge on Cena and it backfired.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. So, what does anyone think about the Miz? This is one of those Miz promos you're not sure if the Miz is the face or not, or is a heel or not.
Well, I mean...
I'm sure that's true.
Well, he said what everybody... Well, us fans know about how Enzo's essentially kicked out the locker room, kicked off the bus, and pretty much no one in the locker room liked him.
Who else got kicked off the bus, don't you?
Huh?
You know who else got kicked off the bus, don't you? Ric Flair. Ric Flair.
When?
Remember during the TNA tour they kicked him off the bus? Hunk used to make fun of it all the time.
There's a difference. One's a 16-time world champion. The other might not have a job in next year.
Well, 22-time world champion if we count all the other ones.
22-time world champion.
I know the official count is 16, which, by the way, the two sources that recognize him as a 16-time world champion recognize different reigns as those world champions.
just like Fabulous Moolah. That fucking bitch got beat so many times for her belt, and they don't even count any of them.
Yeah, I know. No, Moolah's WWE doesn't even recognize the gaps in between her 28-year reign.
Yeah. I think the last time Moolah legitimately got beat for her belt was in '72, before Wendy beat her.
Before Wendy.
That's why fucking if you really pay attention. And if you ever watch the pre-match interview to fucking the War to Settle the Score, no, Brawl to Settle It All, whatever the fuck the first one was, how fucking Captain Lou basically slipped up and said, "How long you been champion, Moolah? 12 years?" The fucking Moolah bitches at him and corrects him.
Oh boy!
So fucking Captain Lou got it right.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, at least you could pull that off as Lou trying to be the babyface, trying to insult Moolah.
No, he was
But-
a heel at the time.
Oh, he was a heel at the time. Okay,
Yeah, this was before his face turn.
this is before his babyface turn. Okay.
He's like, how long you been champion, Moolah? What, 12 years or stuff? No, 27. Oh, I'm sorry. So fucking Lou let that slip.
Oh boy.
Well, Captain Lou's, you know,
He was up there in age.
he was kind of crazy back then. You kind of have to be crazy to play Mario on Super Mario Bros.
On Super Mario the live action.
Which they did get Sergeant Slaughter for, which I thought was hilarious. Oh God, what the hell were we talking about again?
I forget.
See every time I try to come up with something, then I get interrupted by something. Then I go, "What the fuck was my point again?" Oh yeah,
I
We
know.
were talking about Cena and Flair's title reigns.
oh right,
And
that's
how-
right. We were talking about how Enzo got buried by the Miz. I was gonna say, remember the last time that the Miz was cheered?
I can't remember.
Yeah, during the Cena feud.
During the Cena feud, exactly.
Especially during those total Bello bullshit segments.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
jeez.
Yeah, but-
And here's the thing. Obviously, this is a work shoot. Obviously, you know, Enzo and Miz kind of had to talk about that kind of stuff, or maybe they didn't. I don't know. Because of how much shit Enzo is in with the rest of the locker room, they may just be having their way with him, and he can't do anything about it. But
To me, it's more there's way too much breaking of the fourth wall recently.
well,
There
most
has a
of
lot,
the fourth wall has been broken because most of the stuff that's come out is public information.
Yeah, but you don't.
The
Let me.
dear
Oh,
fuck, am I going to get in a word in edgewise?
It's almost. Go ahead. Whatever.
The lack of control of the stuff that's getting out is way too much. I admit that, because that means WWE is unable to control the amount of it, to able to control what the populace knows, and if the populace knows that, then they're going to be like, well, why in the hell are they pushing this guy and that? So it's a back and forth between between creative, whom really needs to piss up a robe, but still, it's between creative and the audience. The problem is that in the old days, when creative, or rather the booker, listened to the audience, he would then manipulate that audience at the same time. This is just giving them their jollies.
Yeah,
Mentioning,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
mentioning the Enzo thing. I'm done now.
It's but at the same time, I always compare the wrestling business to the movie business. And it's like, okay, you know, in the news that say Julia Roberts is going through a divorce or whatever the fuck, but you're not going to go to a movie and see her on the screen, and they're not going to bring that up. Or say that fucking Johnny Depp got jailed for smacking up his former wife. You're not going to go to a Pirates of the Caribbean movie and have that thrown in his face.
Well, you can't do that in a movie. That's the thing.
But that's what I'm saying. Why can't you let the fucking marks suspend disbelief?
The marks
Because the marks don't want to do that anymore.
Well,
Marks
no. The marks want to. The internet fans don't want to.
Oh, the marks. Yeah, the IWC is the one that.
And that's the problem. They keep pandering to the wrong people.
That is true. And that's the one thing I hate about this, that you want to get the right people only to get the wrong market involved, and you're like, shit.
The marks are the one that will ooh and ah to the match. The IWC is the one that will bring the beach balls to.
Hold on a second.
Echo.
Oh, my ears.
Now remember why we're going to Discord.
There we go. Okay, because my phone's dying, so I had to get off my phone.
Ah,
I
Okay.
had to switch to my iPad.
all right.
But yeah, fucking, That's the whole point. They're catering to the internet fans. They're catering to the wrong fucking people. You're catering to the people who you give them what you want, and then all of a sudden, and when you do give them what they want, they bitch and moan, oh, he's overrated. I don't want to see that fucking guy.
Like, we want to see this guy champion. They make this guy champion. Fuck this guy.
Yeah. Oh, he's a sellout because now he's the champion. It's like they don't want to see anyone truly succeed.
What do you want?
Exactly. So why cater them? That's why I say push Cena, push Roman, just to piss these people off.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing. The internet. We already know what the internet community wants. They want Kenny Omega and the fucking Young Bucks to be world champion.
Yeah,
all
except
at the same time.
they'll boob Kenny Omega.
No, they won't.
Why not?
No, they won't because they'll want them untouched. See.
So you want them to have Goldberg level records?
No. What they want is they want Kenny Omega to be be able to do the shitty ass comedy wrestling that he does most of the time. That he used to do in DDT on a world championship level.
And won't that take a giant dump on the world championship?
Again.
That's
what they want, apparently.
Well, here's the thing. That title already doesn't mean anything. The titles are props now.
Well, yeah. Fucking Breezango had a fucking point.
Yeah.
Even though they were making a joke about it in their sketch, it was, dude, that's a title. No, this is a belt. Oh.
Yeah. You know what it is?
Titles don't mean anything. I wish titles meant something. The NXT women's title means fucking something.
Because Asuka held it with a vice grip for 2 years, and it took an injury to get it off of her.
Yeah.
So whoever's going to succeed her is going to have a giant bar they're going to have to climb in order to get close to that same standard.
And you know who pushed?
And this is a good. I'm saying this in a good way.
And you know who pushed for Asuka to get pushed up to the main roster, still undefeated?
Triple H. But
the guy who held on to the fucking title for however many fucking titles for how long?
True, but I hate to say this about the original master of the shuffle, but he did make it important when someone defeated him.
But also the fact of the matter is that, when you're married to the boss's daughter, you get titles as Valentine's Day and Christmas Day.
That's the curse of Triple H's legacy. No matter what he does, he's always going to get connected to the fact that he's married to Stephanie McMahon.
Like, hi, honey. Merry Christmas. Here's the world title. Yay!
I didn't know his 3 daughters were named Universal, Intercontinental, and European.
Yep.
That's their middle names. They're just not officially put out there yet.
Anyway.
Can you imagine, though, when their daughters graduate high school? It's like, happy graduation, here's the women's title.
Oh, God.
No, the SmackDown women's title, the Raw women's title, and the NXT women's title. Here you go.
They're all going to be held by McMahon daughters. Every single one. At the same time.
Why not just go all the way? Let's make two of Shane's sons tag team champions, and one of them the U.S. and the last one the U.S. champion.
Who takes the IC?
I don't know. We'll actually give it to a wrestler.
Yeah, this is.
I think about that point, the Miz will still be holding on to that IC title.
Here we go. Let's see here. Where the hell is?
Well, while he's doing something.
No, actually, his kid, the Miz's kid, will be holding the IC championship.
Oh God.
Yeah, but we don't know if it's his son or daughter or not.
At this point, they don't care.
Here's what it's gonna be. You're gonna have Aurora Rose Levesque hold the fucking Raw Women's title. Then you're gonna have Murphy Claire Levesque hold the SmackDown Women's title. And Vaughn Evelyn, since she's the youngest, she's going to hold the NXT Women's title. at the same time. See, that's why Triple H and Stephanie aren't going to have any more kids, because they already have one kid per women's title.
Oh boy!
And if they have boys, they're going to be holding the fucking. They're going to be holding. There's way too. That's why another reason why I don't have boys, because there's too many titles for the boys to hold.
Because you have the the Universal Championship, the World Championship, the NXT Championship, the Raw Tag Team Championship, the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, the NXT Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, the only way that Triple H's children are ever going to hold those belts is if Triple H somehow turns into Antonio Cromartie and has 7 kids.
Or
he can adopt a bunch of Chinese kids.
Oh dear fuck! Can I at least get the joke out?
Go ahead.
Or all of a sudden, Stephanie McMahon could have a surprise like Christy Hemme and be giving birth to quadruplets.
That too.
Damn!
Christy Hemme has quadruplets.
Christy Hemme is now pregnant with quadruplets.
Holy crap!
Well, her husband.
Her husband's testicles really work.
Yeah, really.
God
Not only
damn.
that, and the fact that she's got to carry that around. Oh gosh, she's gonna need some of this.
She's already on bed rest.
She's already on bed rest. She's gonna need to have someone walk behind her with straps holding her belly up, and be like, "Come on, let's go."
That fucking tiny ass little girl is gonna have 4 babies
At once.
Jesus Christ!
They already have one.
Oy vey.
That's gonna be an interesting episode of Where Are They Now for WWE.
I mean, I'll just say this: I've seen a woman have triplets. It's crazy how they have it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine a person. I can't imagine a woman having 4 kids at once. I'm like, how are you not falling on the ground consistently or just in constant pain?
She probably is, which just explains the bed rest.
Which explains the bed rest. I was about to say, she's probably not moving.
How far along is she?
She wasn't moving. If she was moving, she wouldn't have 4 kids.
Oh God!
Damn, dude.
Okay. That was actually funny.
Yeah, really.
Okay, good.
There must have been some serious fucking going on in that house.
It's Christy Hemme. If that was your wife, wouldn't you be doing the same?
Oh yeah, no shit. But I go for was it quintuplets or octuplets?
Oh boy,
Don't be
Octus higher than Quinn.
Okay, as of 6 days ago, so it's been a week. So it's been about a week. She would now be about 16 weeks pregnant.
That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
she has a long way to go.
She's about over a third of the way through.
And she's already on bed rest.
You know what would be even funnier, though, in all seriousness, and this is speaking from personal experience? Wouldn't it be ironic if her nickname by her husband was Kitten?
Oh.
This is usually how many babies they spout out at a time.
You'd have to ask Charlie. Anyway.
Hey, at least
having quadruplets.
Hey, at least this. Think of it like this: if they ever wanted to bring back the Spirit Squad in about 21 years, there you go.
Oh fuck!
Oh jeez.
But you know the real victim in all of this is going to be
who?
Christy Hemme's pussy. This is never going to be the same after popping out those kids.
I'm pretty sure her husband had it nice and ready when she got her knocked up the second time.
That fucking pussy's gonna look like an Arby's roast beef sandwich.
Oh, sorry, I just had to go see how tall she was. Holy 5'5".
She's 5'5". She's actually that's pretty average. I mean, she's not like Candice. Candice LeRae's fucking 5'2".
At 110.
Yeah. So.
Oy vey.
Fucking Kairi Sane is 5'1".
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. There was a lot of fucking over there.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, really. I'm not even gonna be mad at that.
And the thing though, that if she would have just gotten up to pee afterwards, she would be pregnant.
That's not quite how that works.
Not
but
really,
okay.
John. I'm pretty sure biology works a lot differently than that.
Not quite how that works.
Okay.
So,
Shall we continue talking about actual wrestling?
I think we
instead of
have.
how
I
many-
think SmackDown was a thing.
And speaking of things getting fucked.
Oh god.
Oh
Did
gosh.
you see that fucking shoot headbutt Papa Vince got?
Yeah.
That was a-
yeah.
I don't think that was a shoot headbutt.
It had to be, busted him open.
I don't know. I don't think the headbutt was a shoot. I think the result was a shoot.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Was it
I-
a shoot or the blade?
No, it was a shoot. It was basically like what Brock did to Orton at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But busted open the hard way. Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't see a gig. I did
And
not
like
see a gig.
like what fucking Lewis said, for Vince to take that shit and he's fucking 72 years old. Vince is a crazy old bastard.
No joke. I mean,
Well,
Don't you have to be a crazy old bastard to be?
and guess what people are now saying?
What's that?
That it's supposedly a blade job.
That's
That-
no blade job. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, if you actually
it was-
look, if you saw the impact, there was no time to pull a blade up there before.
And plus-
No. It's one of those laid it before, covered it up, and waited for the impact, and then it happened.
No, because if you look at the
Thank
tape,
you.
when Vince went down, he was already busted open, and it was the size of about a cigar.
Yeah, I mean, I saw that thing bleed out. When
When you blade, it's a straight thin line. When you don't blade and have something look like the size of a cigar.
no.
That was that was from the headbutt.
No. Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
No. You go on ahead. You had a point. Go for it.
Because fucking, I got busted open the hard way several times. From my head. I also had an injury where my teeth literally went through my fucking lip. Believe me, those shits are instantaneous. I still have the scar. Actually, if I shave, you'll see it. But that was a hard. I mean, he meant to do that, but still, that shit was hard way. Because they can't blade on TV no more.
Yeah. No,
Thanks, PTC.
So of course we just bust them open the old-fashioned way because that's more humane.
Because when the parents can bitch, they could sit there and say, "Look, it was an accident. It didn't mean to happen."
Yeah. I think the accidental color was a good thing. In fact,
Yeah.
I think Vince probably took it in stride and said, "Dude, this is going to get ratings. This is going to get people in seats."
Yeah, but like I said, the fact that Vince is willing to do that in general just shows you what a crazy old bastard he is.
And he's willing to do that with Kevin Owens. He put his trust in. Let's be honest, Kevin Owens is an internet darling. He was an internet darling, and I mean, with what he's done now, he's definitely legit. Don't get me wrong, but he was an internet darling, and being able to put him over like that, and having that kind of result even by accident, that not only solidifies Vince's trust in Kevin Owens, but now they have a moneymaker going in. Now we have Kevin Owens going, "Dude, I just knocked your dad the fuck out. I made him bleed."
And by the way, that's another thing too. When you're done,
I made him bleed. Now Shane has a bigger thing to go in for. I'm good.
and another reason they're doing that is because now apparently Vince sees his son as a huge draw.
Well, that's one of the reasons they signed him is Shane has to have at least two matches
a year. So they're probably going to save Shane for the big draws. Except the only difference with fucking Shane is, number one, you see him on TV each week. And number two, in the position he's in, he's not supposed to wrestle every fucking time.
Yeah.
It's not like he holds a title belt or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the authority figure, so he only wrestles if he absolutely has to get someone in order.
I mean, he's not like some other.
Which storyline line happens 2 times a year apparently. But go ahead.
It's not like he's not like a certain bleach blonde fucking steroid addicted freak who only wrestles when the fuck he feels like it and holds a world title.
Oh.
to be fair, he holds Carlos Colon's Universal title, but we won't get into that. Anyway,
oh God.
And by the by, you know, fucking if John Jones could fucking lose a belt from a no contest because of a drug issue, they should do that for fucking Brock Lesnar. You know Brock Lesnar's on something.
Oh boy. Well, then again, you could just clone Cena's promo. They said the reins on Brock. I'm like, when he said, "I'm like a drug test. You ain't getting past me."
And that's another thing too. It makes you wonder if you want to make wrestling realistic. Apparently, say if a guy gets busted under the wellness policy, instead of just stripping him of the belt, instead of just having him drop the belt to somebody, wouldn't it make sense to fucking say, well, the title was on the line your last match, you tested positive, now the title's going to go to this person. Like Dana did.
You mean the John Jones thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
That you know, that brings up an interesting point.
No, I would agree with something like that. I would agree with something like that
Like
to bring in.
Roman Reigns was the Universal Champion, and he last defended against, say, Finn Balor, and he got busted for steroids or whatever the fuck. Wouldn't it be unreal if WWE could just turn around and say, well, you know, we're not gonna have you do the job. We're not gonna have you hold the belt up. We're just gonna give it to the last opponent you faced.
That could be interesting.
You were on drugs around this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only will it explain the suspension for the audience, but storyline-wise, that helps build up a redemption story for the character coming back.
It's also more the fact that you're making the results public anyway. You might as well, you know,
just put it out there on TV.
Yeah.
If the results are out there publicly, you might as well make some fucking money with it.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, like okay, you did also teach the young kids that watch. Okay, you do drugs. These are the consequences.
Like you do drugs, you break the rules. Well, here are the consequences.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's an interesting concept, though.
It was so interesting. I actually put up the booking toilet for about a minute.
Yeah.
Although,
well, we have a legitimate booking toilet now. I own it.
Oh boy.
That is true, though.
And it flushes too when you press the handle.
Although you're talking about legitimacy of certain things.
Welcome to Hastily Kayfabed, folks.
No. You're reminding me of 2 other wrestling events that I saw. But we'll get into that after we're done talking about SmackDown and Raw and all that shit.
You mean bar wrestling?
Oh no. Not bar wrestling. Bar wrestling.
Let's see.
So let me ask you a question. For that bar wrestling, is it like Battle of the Tough Guys, where it's like an octagonal ring and they just throw each other out?
No, nowhere near like that.
That's the only bar wrestling I could think of.
No. This isn't tough man competition or bullshit like that. It's wrestling it's not even at a bar. It's in an American Legion post that has a bar in the main area. Let's be fair here.
Oh, like PWG.
Yeah, exactly. Except it's not PWG and they don't sell out and they don't sell the tickets for $65.
What, $65 for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla? Get the fuck out of here.
I'm not joking. $65 for Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, $85 for Front Row.
Need I remind them that they're still an indie fed?
They sell out every single time. Bola was completely sold out.
Well, I can understand charging that for that because that's their WrestleMania.
That's their WrestleMania over 3 days.
Yeah, but it's not like a $65 ticket's good for 3 days, is it?
I don't know how they do. I don't know if they do tickets for. No, I think they sell. I think they sell one ticket for 3 days. No, I'm sorry. They sell one ticket for 1 day.
But then again, welcome to California, where you also pay $150 to get into a fucking trade show.
Well,
that most people go to for free.
No, that trade show. No, the trade show you don't go into for free. The reason why those tickets were $150 for the first 1,000, then it was $250 for the other 14,000 was because those were tickets that were available to the public. They were beta testing, basically ticket sales for the public, and the rest of the people that get in are industry only.
Except for a little faggot that does YouTube videos and blinds his hair and calls himself CND.
Lou just brought up a point. He's like, Vince had new skin, the liquid Band-Aid stuff. When Kevin connected, he popped it. He says it's a shame that Mr. Silver didn't notice it.
I didn't actually. I didn't.
I think that's sarcasm.
Yeah.
Particularly when he said Mr. Silva.
Oh boy.
But he's press. He's a part of the industry. As much as you hate the guy, because I've never met the guy.
The guy's a fucking faggot.
He's industry. Yeah, he's part of the industry.
Once you have a press pass, that opens some doors.
You know, if they have a partnership with you and they're willing to make money with you through YouTube, what's probably happened is they probably went through YouTube. But that's not wrestling.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we run out of wrestling or post.
I want to talk about the only two drinks that I had while watching an 8-man tag. So it was Hot Young Briley, Joey Ryan, the current reigning GFW champion Eli Drake.
You forgot the word defending.
He wasn't defending in this match.
Ah.
And by the way, the fact that Eli Drake is world champion means that anybody can be a world champion.
Hey, you want to fly? You want to go down to Florida once the water dries to try your luck, John?
Well, I would if Dixie was there because at least I get some pussy while I'm at it.
Go ahead, Will.
And I also need to mention that it's nice to see that he's defending that he's carrying a title for a company that may or may not be around again.
Because we don't know. The news keeps changing. One minute there. One minute there
says one thing, Jeff Jarrett says another. Somebody else.
Except Jeff Jarrett is not involved in GFW for who knows how long because they kicked him out basically.
Well, yeah, we know.
Like what?
And by the way, real quick before I forget, for Mr. Irizarry, I had a suspicion, but I couldn't see very well, so I didn't want to actually give false information. Said it was what it was. Because my first reaction was it was fake skin in a blood capsule. Because blood capsules also bleed that way.
Yeah. There's just so many things.
So fuck you, or poo on you, or whatever the fuck you want to say it.
For all we know, it's like a couple weeks later, they're like, say, yeah.
But we're never going to know because it's not like they're going to say anything because of the parents' groups.
Right.
I'm sure Meltzer probably opened up his fucking mouth, that little homeless guy.
That's actually what the link I posted in there before was. Not exactly from Meltzer, but basically paraphrasing what Meltzer was talking about on his show. So I'm like,
that should be another hashtag. Fuck Meltzer.
and Brian, and of course, not related to the hashtags, Brian Cage. That was the fourth guy. Against Luchasaurus.
Did you go to a Chikara show?
It gets even funnier. The longest paid professional wrestler under WWE that didn't wrestle
JTG.
for 4 years, JTG. By the way, looks fucking jacked.
Well, last time I checked, they were trying to get back into the E. Imagine a match between Crime Time and the New Day, or the Usos for that matter.
What do you mean?
What
about Prime Time and Street Profits? They're just ripping off that fucking gimmick.
Just remember, JTG had a job with WWE for 7 years, 30 days, 0 hours, 25 minutes, and 12 seconds.
And no one knew why.
Yep.
And then...
Well, I know why, because they need someone to replace Linda's Cabana Boy after they finally fired Scotty Tuhati. Go ahead, Will.
The reigning Impact Grand Champion, Ethan Carter III.
Shouldn't he like drop the fucking name after Dixie left?
They're still using it.
Gimmick's still worth it. Gimmick's still worth it. They just pretty much call him EC3. No one cares.
Call him like TJ Perkins is called TJP now.
Yeah.
And the P stands for penis.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Okay, that was just. And the special guest from the other side, X-Pac, who
keep him away from those turnbuckles.
Actually no, they did a four-way Bronco Buster. But
there you go.
However, we mentioned the realism, so of course there had to be something involving a dick spot.
Of course.
And mind you, we're talking to the guy that honestly is the perfect fit for Hood Slam. Okay, so he would love this bit. There was supposed to be a 4-way dick spot. Okay, which meant that not only did Joey Ryan have the power of the penis, but so did his other 3 compatriots.
What, just passed it along like a Power Ranger?
I have no idea how Brian Cage or Eli Drake or possibly Hot Young Briley got Joey Ryan's mojo. I don't know. And that's
They're
why
probably
I say
sucking off in the locker room before the matches started.
Well, but apparently Briley didn't get the memo. Because okay, so Joey Ryan does his penis plex. Guy goes over. Cage does it. Guy goes over. Drake does it. Guy goes over. Briley tries to do it, and EC3 sort of looks at him.
Like, nigga, what the fuck you
What
doing?
the fuck? Well, not that word, but yeah, what's wrong? So they tries again. No, doesn't work. He goes to the corner, attempts to jerk himself off for a little bit. Comes back, tries it again, it doesn't work. EC3 then goes, okay, look, I've had enough. Goes over to Joey Ryan to get flipped over.
Huh?
Apparently Hot Young Briley wasn't good enough for him, so he had to go to Joey to get flipped.
Flip a dick?
Hey, I'll get. There's a woman wrestler out there by the name of Chelsea Green who has a sort of a Jekyll and Hyde, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of thing. Which also happened, which we got to see not only at Bar Wrestling but also at Wrestle Circus, where she faced Joey Ryan. So at Wrestle Circus, Chelsea Green's facing Joey Ryan, which was originally supposed to be a handicap match, but due to flooding in Irma, several people couldn't make it.
Well, yeah,
they actually had to change the card around for it. But Chelsea Green, you know the spots where they they sell Joey's dick all the time. So you do the atomic drop, they hurt their knee. So
Chelsea, that fucking Hurricane Irma, man, I tell you what.
So Chelsea and Joey collide. Joey falls over, spread leg open. Chelsea dives headfirst into Joey's crotch and knocks herself out.
Oh, brother.
What?
Joey gets up, groggy, but he's fine because dong of steel, right? The referee goes to check Chelsea Green, tries to wake her up, can't do it. The referee throws up the X. I shit you not. He throws up the WWE X. The AAPW guys come out, carry her to the back. She's knocked out completely. Joey Ryan then gets on the microphone and says, "Look, I'm sorry. I know this wasn't supposed to happen." And he cuts this promo about how he's sorry about how he knocked out Chelsea Green with his dick. Pretty much.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Pretty much in those words. I'm not done. Because while he's cutting this promo, everyone starts cheering, and out comes the same girl with really fucked up makeup and a wedding dress that's been torn up from 1985 named Lauren Van Ness.
Oh, no.
This is the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. She's like the gimmick of Lauren Van Ness is the idea of like the crazy runaway bride kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, goody.
She actually takes the dick spot and then gets up and no sells it. Like, hi, I like that.
Leg drop after.
And beats the shit out of Joey Ryan getting the win. I mean, she gets thrown around. She lands on her back. She gets up all spread-legged. Shit like that. This is a John Silva match. This is up his alley completely. I mean, let me. Of course. And now, mind you, I will put more credence for Joey Ryan into Joey Ryan than I will Kenny Omega because he actually understands ring psychology. He might be using his powers for evil, but that's what he's doing. It's ring psychology. It's definitely not Jake Roberts, incredible stuff, but he's at least engaging the audience in the match. Because he had a match on Hood Slam against Rick Scott Stoner or Scott Rick Stoner, or I don't know which Stoner brother it is.
Rick Scott and Stoner?
No. It's Rick Scott Stoner or Scott Rick Stoner. Those are their names.
Ah.
So it's Rick Scott and Scott Rick. They just both get high, smoking a lot of pot, and they beat the shit out of people. That's all they did.
Good point.
Joey put over one of those two. And the way that they did it was that, now mind you, the Stoner brothers are there. I mean, they're heavily smoking joints while they're wrestling. So not only does he breathe pot smoke in Joey Ryan's face, he then takes another drag, opens up Ryan's tights, and breathes smoke onto Joey Ryan's dick.
That's how he got the powers.
No. Scott Rick Stone. This is a Hood Slam event. This is outside of that. Joey Ryan's mojo has now been impaired because apparently his dick has had substance abuse issues. And the only apparently one of the ways to cure it was he actually managed to grab a half-open bag of Doritos from a fan and poured it down his trunks.
Huh?
Well, his dick had the munchies.
Do I even want to keep this line of
This is Hood
questioning
Slam.
going? I know.
This is fucking Hood Slam, okay? The main event of bar wrestling, thank goodness, was Tessa Blanchard versus Candice LeRae, which was a really good match.
Almost seemed like two guys that should have been in the Mae Young Classic. Hopefully they got contracts out of it.
I don't think they did because Shayna got a contract.
Yeah, I figured some of these girls got a contract.
That was announced by Triple H. That both Kyrie and Shayna did definitely get contracts. Now, how long those contracts are for, I don't know. I'm assuming it's a year contract for Shayna. I don't know if it's going to be any longer. But
like I said, Kyrie's getting the title shot, so who knows?
Right, exactly. And of course, Shayna with the horsewomen angle. Tessa and Candice, Candice was at the event for Shayna versus Kairi, but I think, that's just who they showed up. But Tessa was at several different events and was not at the Mae Young Classic. So I don't think she got a contract. If she does have one, it's probably on a very limited basis with WWE, just kind of showing up every so often.
Kind of like how Blue Pants had that kind of a deal.
Yeah, because I mean, as I said to Tessa, she put over Kairi like a champ. I thought she was the better wrestler of the two. Those two put on a great match, and mind you, Shayna and Jessamine Duke were in the audience. They were watching. Wouldn't you know who won the pony? Candice LeRae put Tessa Blanchard in a rear naked choke right in the corner where Shayna was watching. And while she put Tessa in the choke, put Tessa in the choke, she gave the Stone Cold salute over to Shayna.
Yeah, because I'm sure Candice LeRae would win in a legitimate fight.
Yeah, really.
Oh, well, that for those of us that saw Shayna versus Candice LeRae at the Mae Young Classic, that's exactly how it ended. With Shayna knocking out, with Shayna choking out Candice in a rear naked choke. So obviously there's some issues there, but the match itself was really good. Candice went over. The matches were actually really good. Awesome Kong was in the first match of Bar Wrestling.
Oh, really?
Taking on Taya Valkyrie.
I haven't heard from her in a while.
Yeah, you could tell because the Everlast gloves that she was wearing looked about 10 years old.
Was they the TNA Everlast gloves, or back when she was her short stint as Karma?
Probably the TNA Everlast gloves, but oh my gosh, the match ended abruptly though. Although it was kind of neat the way it worked. Taya somehow gets the best of Kong in a few ways. Kong is just like, fuck it, I don't want this anymore. She leaves and goes out to the and goes out the wrestler's entrance. Taya doesn't want the count out. So she decides to go after her. I turn back. Kong is back with a fucking baking pan and just whacks the shit out of her head, out of Taya's head. You just hear this whack, and she's down on the ground. Automatic disqualification.
Yeah, I think most men will go down to the ground like that.
Yeah, it was just whack. I mean, that thing bent like a motherfucker. Obviously, that was a. I mean, what do you expect? It's a baking pan.
It's a baking pan being wielded by Awesome Kong.
Wielded by Awesome Kong. That's how much force there was.
I think when I had to tell one of my former supervisors who she was at one point, it's like, picture a female Mark Henry.
Just I mean, you heard that clong through the entire hall. Probably in the other bar, probably out to the actual bar on the other side of the lead hall.
Like, is she alive?
And yeah, she got up and was just like, what? I think she got hit a little too hard, in fact.
No shit.
But there was a match, and you got to fault the referee on this one, but shit happens where they fucked up the finish. And the finish almost fucked up, almost like the screw job. Almost like the Montreal screw job, because it was stuck in a submission, almost like the sharpshooter. But it seemed like everything got smoothed over. No, the two wrestlers involved were okay with it. It thankfully it ended up okay with that. The referee just fucked up. And the only reason why I knew that was because I turned as the referee went over to announce, and the ring announcer said that wasn't the finish. And I went, "Oh,
shit!"
But it didn't help that the match really wasn't that good. Sometimes you put two people together, and
sometimes you just need to pull the plug.
Yeah, well, while the plug was pulled accidentally on this match, at least it was pulled because the match was just creating snores and not bringing people to the bars in a good way. So
it was getting people out the bar.
It was getting people were just like, what the fuck is this? Fortunately, the match after that was good. Sometimes you just hit speed bumps like that. Yes, I will be going to Bar Wrestling 5, so I will be missing another one of these lovely podcasts.
Oh, that's all right.
John is probably thinking good riddance. He can call me names.
he can take over
Actually,
as usual.
I think good riddance when Reed is gone.
I think Reed is gone. Reed, are you still with us?
I'm still here.
He's still there.
But I while I was heating up my food, I got a text message, and I figured you guys should know about this.
Uh-oh.
Fucking I found out that the government lied to us, and that Hurricane Irma was a lie. What really happened was that Missy Hyatt and Virgil were booked on an indie show in Florida.
Oh no!
And what happened was, fucking. Virgil showed Missy his little Viper, and fucking Missy Hyatt got wet so much that it flooded the entire state of Florida. As soon as Missy Hyatt opened up her legs, there was this huge fucking wave, and it came crashing down the entire state of Florida. So you got Virgil and Missy Hyatt to blame for Irma.
I think this deserves a will you stop, but at the same time, oh god.
I don't even know if this is a way to end the show. It's almost a perfect book ending yet.
It is.
But just so people know, I'll be at Bar Wrestling 5, and they got Rosemary, so that'll be good.
Well, hopefully she's all. Well, I know she's all right, but hopefully
she's medically cleared. So
all right.
And then for those of you who don't know who Will is, he's that dude from Fast Food Mania on the Discovery Channel. Got that? He's the one with the short hair, the glasses, and dresses like a homosexual.
I think the people watching this know who Will is because he's the one next to X-Pac on this picture.
With the dog.
No, I have the one with the crotch chop up. I think that's all the things we could talk about wrestling wise.
Well,
huh?
I said, well, I think it's a good place to end the show.
Yeah,
with a joke about Missy Hyatt.
Yeah, that I'm about to say that's like you can't get more of a perfect bookend than that. So, till next week, everyone. Thank you for listening. Subscribe, all that fun stuff. See you next time.